So what I'd like to tell you about what we're going to be doing today is that so much of it depends on your listening. You see, listening is like a bowl, and telling is like the liquid that pours into the bowl. A story is an answer to the question, what happened? So we want you to, in your storytelling, to get away from abstractions and into what really happened. We don't want to talk about the emotion. We want to have the emotion. We don't want to talk about our open hearts. We want to have open hearts. And it's those five senses, when you tell a story using those five senses, that you have that capacity to tap into your own emotional and sentient body. So that's what this method is all about. Okay, I'd like to have a mother and child to come down here onto the stage and excavate a story. Okay, so this is for everybody, okay? This is for everybody because each one of you can be doing this. Okay, so what I'm going to ask now is for Mikey, for you to be your mum's dedicated listener, right? So you're going to be just listening to her story, and as hard as this is for you because she's your mum and she's you've been with her your whole life, to try and listen to her story, to kind of like really open up your listening to this person in front of you. Not so much like this is my mother, but this is a person who's going to tell me a story, right? So that's how I'm inviting you to listen, right? And Catherine, what I'm inviting you to do is to simply tell Mikey what happened.
I'm open to hear whatever story you have to tell.
All right. I thought I would tell the story of the day I visited my mother about 3 months after my father had died. She just needed to clear things out. And so she would ask me to go through the garage and take things to the rubbish tip.
So you're there at your childhood home, and
Yes.
what happened next?
I was due to fly back to Adelaide that afternoon, and I think my flight was, say, in 3 hours' time, something like that. And my mother suddenly announced that she wanted to take my father's ashes and put them in the river. I was actually quite anxious about going with her and how she would feel, and it was only going to be her and I. I tried to convince my mother that waiting until other family members were present would be a good idea. Since it's only you and I here, we could wait. No, I want to do it now.
Can you describe her expression?
Oh, good.
She was very quiet. She looked quite frail, and she didn't normally look frail. She was very quiet, and she was moving quite slowly. So we drove some short distance, and we just poured his ashes into the river.
So there was nothing said?
I have no recollection of anything very much being said. The only thing I remember her saying was, as we turned to walk away, she said, "I loved him." And then she didn't say anything else.
Well, I've got tears in my eyes, and yeah, I just have that heavy sort of feeling in my chest. I haven't listened to you tell the ending of that story, because it was a real breaking down of her defenses.
Only momentarily.
Momentarily. And perhaps she was herself again back in the car. Yeah, think it's beautiful that you got to experience that with her.
I was struck by the kindness of both of you. At the very end, you had started with that you wanted a warm story, and you got that.
I just think it was great. Sometimes we go through situations like this and we don't really take the time to ask what it was like and what happened. And so just, kind of a reminder for all of us to be present, ask those questions, and give our kids an opportunity to ask us those questions, I think is really powerful.
Thank you.
The first thing that struck me was the resemblance, your resemblance as family. And it was touching, actually, to see that, because I had a sense of lineage. And in essence, this sort of ancestral lineage as you go deep into your mother's story. And it's almost, there's an unspoken quality. I mean, there's almost the story is embodying something else that is immeasurable.
You think you'll ever forget that story, Mikey? No, because you found out what happened. And you can pass that down to your kids, and they can pass it down to their kids, because it's a story, and stories are transferable from one generation to the other. Stories survive because our brains are hardwired to tell and remember stories. This is a communal exercise. This is the World Mother Storytelling Movement. It belongs to all of us. What you are saying touches all of us, because it brings us into that moment. So there's something about sharing that, so generously sharing, that becomes an invitation to other people to think about the story from their perspective, or their own story. Thank you. This is the World Mother Storytelling Project happening right now, and you all, please do it.